And from Agatha All Along, we move on to Josh All Along. He's back again. How are you, buddy? What have you got for us?
Yeah, we got a good month this time, actually. A few games have been out that we've been playing. Kicking off from last month, we've got Black Myth Wukong, which a lot of Game of the Year shouts, but it's actually only sitting on an 81 on Metacritic. So I don't know how that translates to Game of the Year. I've still not played it yet, but so I won't have an input on that. WoW War Within 84, pretty solid score. Star Wars Outlaws, ones that we was all quite looking forward to, is actually only sitting on a 76. We're aware of some of the issues that there's been with that one. I'm pretty sure all over Twitter and social media you'd have probably seen the same. Astro Bot, my game of the year so far, 94 on Metacritic so far. Second highest score this year, just behind Shadow of the Erdtree Elden Ring DLC. And Warhammer Space Marine, which Hori will come on to in a bit that he's been playing, is sitting on an 83, which is pretty respectable.
Yeah.
Yet to release, so this will be rest of August, we're in September now, aren't we? Rest of September, early October, before next month's episode. Plucky Squire, which I've had on my wish list since it got announced last year, September 17th. And if you've got PS Extra, that will be day one available to play, so I will be there. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, September 26th, obviously Switch exclusive. EA Sports FC 25 Con, don't know if you're getting that one. September 27th. We'll see. One that you will be getting, Starfield Shattered Space DLC.
We will be so unbelievably there.
September 30th, obviously Xbox and PC exclusive. And Silent Hill 2, I will be there October 8th. I'm pretty sure that might just be PlayStation exclusive. I'm pretty sure, maybe PC.
Am I losing my mind here, or is that a remake? I swear
the original Silent Hill 2 was on PlayStation 2.
Okay, cool. I swear that game's been out for fucking ever. Okay, cool. It's a remake.
It is a remake for new gen.
Never ever beaten the allegations that the PlayStation 5 is just a remake console. Never ever beaten the allegations.
What do you mean?
Hate to see it. Announcements, news, and updates. So back to Black Myth Wukong. Obviously, a lot of people saying Game of the Year. It sold 10 million copies within the first 3 days of its release, breaking the Steam sales record, and it also achieved the highest second peak, only behind PUBG. I'm pretty sure it had like 2.5 million concurrent players at one point.
Yeah, and it also made Steam break its record for just on the platform of concurrent players ever.
It's
bonkers. Something like 40-something million.
In China, you had entire factories giving people the day off to go play it because, like, the story that it's based on, the legend it's based on, is so important to Chinese mythology. They were like, "No, this is fucking awesome. Everyone, go play video games."
And I'm thinking the 81 score that it's got is probably because I know it critically reviewed very well. I'm assuming this is all a lot of hate.
Well, my
potentially
understanding was people were finding it really hard.
Okay.
And you know what people like when they're like, it's too hard.
Yeah, when it first came out, I saw it on like an 87 on Metacritic, and I didn't realize it had dropped down to an 81. I also heard that when it came to PlayStation, they were like, it wasn't quite stable, so I don't know if maybe that affected
I'm pretty sure 81 is the average. I'm pretty sure PlayStation's version is like a 78, 79, I want to say. So that one is bringing it down, but I'm pretty sure it critically reviewed well. It's just this is all like general, because obviously there was the whole uproar with people being stupid, probably just bringing down the score, which obviously is never ideal. Devs have put a lot of work into the game, and they're just gonna review bomb it like a bunch of melts. But it is what it is. That's the gaming sphere these days. But people were rightly.
Speaking of devs, I spent a lot of time on something.
8 years of production, and the Concord servers were indeed taken offline on the 6th of September, just weeks after the game had launched. Refunds are being issued to those who purchased the game. And sales, according to Game Brand, the estimated sales figures across Steam and PS5 are just 25,000. So comparing that to the 10 million of Black Myth is,
you know what?
Slightly different.
I don't know if I said it to one of you boys or if it was somewhere else I said it. Or someone said it to me. I just remember this being said by someone somewhere. It's so lucky for PlayStation that Astro Bot came out when it did to very quietly just push away the Concord news. Because if they didn't have something to come out and be like so well received, that Concord stink would have just sat there for a little while, and then the PS Pro, which we'll get into a bit, I'm sure, controversy around that without something in the middle to break it up could have really, really been bad for Sony.
Yeah. I
Rory, any
mean,
thoughts on Concord?
so obviously everyone's blaming the execs. I'm going to be careful. You can't blame this whole thing on the execs. Yes, I'm sure the execs at PlayStation or the publisher or whatever that were pushing certain decisions caused some of the issues. And yes, I'm sure plenty of the devs put their heart and soul into it. Where I've seen since is like some of the concept arts leaked of some of the characters, because a big part of the like dislike for this game was the character design. The concept art looks sick, and everyone that's seen that has gone, yeah, this looks sick. How did that concept art turn into
translate
this?
into this?
Apparently, some of the artists have like spoken on Reddit and stuff. A lot of the game was designed by committee, which when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, that's never going to go well, because you get execs, you get too many people being like wanting to give their opinion.
Too many chefs.
Things get diluted down. People's personal agendas get pushed onto things, and then it's like, yeah, you lost all this heart and soul of these character designs. So I think it's the devs at the top are to blame, the execs are to blame. I still stand by that if this was done by a good studio who actually like made a solid game, it would have popped off and could have been a really great hero shooter. But yeah.
The struggle I have with that is they started making this game 8 years ago. That's pre-Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. They're still late to the party.
Gaming world is completely different. So like the concept they're taking there, it should never ever take 8 years for a multiplayer shooter to come to fruition. There is no need for a game to take that long.
I would guess this is about too many chefs. Like two things taking too long to get to a final decision.
A story game taking 8 years, like we've seen with like Red Dead and GTA, that makes complete sense, because guess what? You've got an entire story, you're going to build that up, and you know where you're going the whole time, or most of the time. When you've got something like Concord, it's a hero shooter. I'm not being funny. Some really talented indie devs could make a comparable game in... Like, it's not like they were trying anything outrageously new in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. It took too long.
And that's, I think, why Sony gave up on it so quickly as well. Because running a studio for 8 years to make this game is going to have run up a lot of costs. Meaning this is probably a really expensive shooter game that has just come out and everyone's gone, eh?
With the sales figures of 25k, it's not worth the money continuing development, is it? It's just
no. And it's unfortunate for those devs that have spent 8 years putting like passion into it, who now are probably going to lose all their jobs.
Probably.
And at the end of the day, it probably isn't their fault. It's the people above them. But yeah, there's whoever the ones at the top were clearly don't have a great idea of how to manage a studio in current climate. Maybe those people need to be looked at. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me if Sony pulled it. This is going to just... I mean, it gives them a tax break because they'll have made a fat loss on this.
It's just annoying for me because I don't think this is the sole reason for the failure, but I do think, and I mentioned it to you boys, we were chatting about it recently, that the hero shooters we got out at the minute, Overwatch 1, 2, Rogue Company, not saying that popped off. What else? We got Marvel Rivals coming out. All these hero shooters are free to play. And then you got PlayStation who are like, yeah, we've got a hero shooter. Everyone's like, oh, here we go. This is me included. You were going to be charging you £35, $40 for it. And then a lot of people were like, do I want to play something in a very saturated market of hero shooters, do I want to be spending £35 on it when a lot of other hero shooters, Roko, for example, we really liked, but do we stick to it or do we go through phases of it?
Oh no,
It
like,
is a tough one.
I don't disagree. The £35 was like the kind of the final hurdle that
Yeah,
stopped a lot of people.
it was a factor, not the sole reason.
Yeah, I still like, and I still believe, like I said, a good studio that absolutely nails that. If it's a good game, it'll be like a Helldiver situation.
Well,
or
Helldivers,
something like,
yeah.
where the game's popping off, everyone's loving it, it's so much fun that you go, oh wait, £35 for this, and it looks that
Helldivers
good.
not 25.
Well, yeah, but it's
obviously
still
Helldivers, but it's still a paid
but
game.
compared to
No.
like the 60-70 quid games that we are currently getting, you
Oh,
look at 35 like, oh, that's a good deal.
But I think 35-40 quid is in a weird middle bracket. Less than 30, and this is just me, obviously, everyone's financial situation is different, but less than 30 quid, if a game is even semi-interesting to me, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll spend 30 quid on food when I'm in like a really foodie mood. So spending 30 quid in a game that might be fun or 25 quid in a game that might be fun, I'm like, you know what? That's worth it. More than that, I'm actually thinking about it. And 40 quid, I'm like, you don't even believe in that enough to charge full price, but you're not making it don't think about it price. So what is that? And I think that's the thought process for a lot of people, because that price of game doesn't exist anymore, really. So everyone's like, okay, so it's not a AAA price, but it's not a forget about it, it's worth it price. So where does that price sit? Because whether we like it or not, when something is priced a certain way, we do instinctively kind of use what other things are priced at that level
As a
as like
benchmark, 100%.
as like, okay, how good is this thing? If the last thing Sony released at 25 quid was Helldivers, and then Concord came out at 25, a lot more people would have gone, might worth a try.
Yeah.
But that just a little bit more at that price point, you're just like, but why?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just they just failed on execution.
Big time.
Unfortunately, the devs, the ones that have done all the work, are the ones that are going to pay the price and end up losing their jobs. Unfortunately.
Yeah, terrible.
It is tough, but to be a bit more uplifting, we're going to be speaking of some positives now, boys. What have we been playing recently?
Do you know what's really funny? Kind of everything and nothing. I'm back on Cyberpunk at the minute, which I'm loving. We've been playing Deadlock. I've been jumping in for a bit of X Defiant by myself. I've been playing some Spectre Divide. I've been playing some Assassin's Creed Origins. I've been playing some Cricket 24. I've literally just been kind of playing whatever. I
Whatever you
finally
fancy.
played Harry Potter Quidditch Champions the other night. That was a good game. Really, really solid feeling. I enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, like there's a lot, but nothing that's kind of all consuming me at the minute, which is a weird feeling.
I'm like the opposite. I have like 2 games consuming me. It was Deadlock, purely like full. That got into that, and then it was just like, oh, I don't want to play anything else. I did give I gave Spectre Divide a chance with you because I played the beta for that. I was just like, it's hadn't really changed much from the beta. Obviously, I didn't expect it to, but it's like
This one's Shroud's game, isn't it?
Yeah, Shroud's game.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take on a tactical shooter. It does something a little different. Certain bits
fun.
of it that are like, yeah, it is fun. It's a tactical shooter at the end of the day, and it is one of those games that I think I do worry about its longevity because it's a sort of game like what happened with CS Go, which is like people get to a point where they can just one tap perfectly all the time, and because there's no movement penalty from like strafing and stuff, that's easier to do than normal.
You've got a lot of people just screaming cheater when someone's just very good.
Well, yeah, you'll very quickly kind of close the door on any new players having a fun time. But yeah, unfortunately, it's like they've released it as I'm like everyone's getting into Deadlock. It's just unfortunate timing, which is funny as well because like Shroud's loving Deadlock, and obviously when the game came out, he obviously had to stream Spectre Divide, and me and my mate were like, I wonder how badly he wishes he was playing Deadlock right now, but instead he's going to promote this game that he's been a part of helping. But yeah, Deadlock, and then literally from Monday, Space Marines 2 came out, and I've played it every free moment at the moment.
It looks gorgeous.
It's visually absolutely stunning. The sense, so Warhammer, for people that don't know anything about Warhammer, yeah, for the uninitiated who don't believe in the Emperor, Warhammer is essentially a fantasy world which is a warring universe. Everyone is at war. There is no good faction. Everyone is essentially evil in their own right. But you have like superhuman soldiers versus orcs that can kind of just imagine whatever the fuck they want, versus a hive mind insect just swarm that overrun everything. Plus then you have like demonic versions of the superhuman soldiers. Everyone's just fighting. It's a very interesting world. Everything is like massive scale in that world, like machines, and it's like this idea that everything's grown to. So that sense of scale they've nailed in this game, because already you're like I don't know actual heights, but I'm gonna guess like your Space Marines are like 10 foot tall. There's normal sized people around in the world, so you're like oh, I feel massive. You walk like round a corner and the environment is just fucking huge, and you're like, oh, this is just like you're just in awe of the environment. They've absolutely nailed it. It's so much fun to play, just smashing up insects. It has that same vibe that Helldivers does have, but the gameplay loop is very similar, slightly different. I think there's a lot more to the grind in this than Helldivers. Helldivers was just you grinding to unlock the battle, like the different things in the battle pass, and get it that way. This, you pick a class, and you grind to unlock levels and better perks for that class, and you essentially get stronger.
Almost like a more traditional leveling system.
Yeah, the customization is like Space Marines. For people that know 40k, there's like factions. Most of the like common ones are in there, so you can unlock which one you want. All their DLC is going to be just cosmetic based. They're doing like 4 free updates of DLC with content. They've got loads of content planned. The fun thing I found is, which is different to a normal game, you do the campaign. When you finish the campaign, the co-op like operation missions that are the replayability, you are essentially the B team going into the same missions you've just done in the campaign. So you get to see the same story from a different perspective.
That's cool.
Which is a lot of fun. And there's a lot of cool, like, some of the missions have some really cool mechanics in them that you kind of have to, like, puzzle mechanics and stuff. So the replayability is a lot of fun. I haven't touched the PvP yet, but people seem to be enjoying that, as people always love.
Yeah, I feel like PvP in a Warhammer game is like really important. It needs to be engaging.
I think the only comment I've seen is people wish it was more like 6v6 instead of 3v3. Just so it's a bit more going on in a game.
Yeah, because imagine in like if you talk about the scale of the environment and stuff, 3v3 could feel
if
quite
some of the maps
slow.
are quite. I don't know what the maps are like, but I imagine if some of the maps are a bit big, 3v3 might feel a bit just lacking. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm very much hooked on it.
Yeah, speaking been playing? Deadlock's got me by the balls at the minute. I won't lie. I've got Steam open now. Horror, you've got 56.1 hours. I'm at 41.
Nice.
I would be on way more if Space Marine hadn't come out.
So this is, I know it's not fully MOBA, but this is my first MOBA. Coming from playing a lot of shooting games, sort of having that as my safety net whilst learning the MOBA is a lot of fun, because I consider myself maybe just slightly above average at shooting games, maybe. So it's helping a lot, because you could you do find on the game that there's a lot of people who are good at MOBAs but not as good as the shooting part. But I'm just hooked at the minute. Like I say, 41 hours. I'll probably play some after we finish recording. I'm just hooked. But I did have a break. Astro Bot came out on Friday. I pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered the special edition controller. Obviously, you know me.
Controller is sick.
The controller is sick. As you know me, I'm a very, very heavy bias on the PlayStation side, and it is my game of the year so far. I don't even think it's close. It's funny you say that because obviously Deadlock's not a full game yet, but it is up there. But Astro Bot, the sound design, the haptic, and the feedback in the DualSense controller, the missions, the replayability of the missions, the trophies were fun. I've got the platinum already. It is just anyone with a PlayStation has to get it. It is a must play. 94 it's sitting on Metacritic at the minute.
Okay.
Wow.
Far be it me to piss on anyone's parade. And as we've established, I play all platforms. I'm just a video game lover. So I'm not trying to be a devil's advocate here. I'm trying to be unbiased. I don't think this game would be a 94 if it was a third-party game that just so happened to only decide to release on PlayStation. Like, you do get some development companies like, I'm not going to spend the time making it available for multiple platforms. I think if this was called Space Boy and it was made by a little studio in Dublin, even if it was the exact same game, I don't think it'd get this much hype because there is a big bias towards PlayStation in journalism, in video game journalism, and I'm not saying it's not great, let's not get that fucking twisted for a second, it looks phenomenal. But I get the feeling that something that would be an 80 to 85 becomes a 90 to 95 when it's PlayStation.
I suppose it's hard to say, and it's speculation, I suppose, because this is essentially Astro Bot is PlayStation's Mario, it's Galaxy, Odyssey, the 3D platform. So it is hard to say. It is what it is, I suppose, isn't it? You can speculate and try and guess what other teams would do and stuff, but it just comes as part of it.
And once I finally play it, I'll have a better understanding of whether
have you played Astro's Playroom?
Yeah. I played that, and it was very, very good.
It's essentially that with much more levels, better sound design, more haptics, more items, and different types of things to do. It's basically that, but a much bigger experience.
So what you've just said to me though is it's taken a tech demo, which is what Astro's Playroom was, to show off what was new with the PlayStation 5 in such a fun way, and they made it a full game for 60 quid.
Essentially.
Seems like a smart business move, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm not saying it isn't, and don't get me wrong, the game looks fun, visually looks great. I just don't think if this had been done by a third-party developer, that it would be receiving this much praise.
Well, it's tough to know because it's like, because it's PlayStation's like thing, they're gonna put more marketing into it. Would if you compared it to a different studio but got the same level of marketing, the same push from PlayStation themselves, I think it probably could still get the same score. But if it was just like you're saying, like this is another PlayStation release, then maybe it wouldn't quite have reached it because it hasn't got that same like big push behind it. But that's like anything.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have a better idea once I eventually get around to playing it. I might play it and I might go, you know what? I was fucking wrong. That game is phenomenal.
If you like 3D platformers, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Like, when was the last time a 3D platformer got a 90 plus on Metacritic?
Don't know, but it should have been Mario Sunshine.
Mario Odyssey. Let me check the score on that. Actually,
like you said, the only game it's close to this year or has beaten it this year is Shadow of the Erd Tree. Shadow of the Erd Tree is an all-timer. Literally an all-timer, and that was just a DLC.
Yeah.
I just, maybe it's a little bit of bias as someone who likes story-focused games a little bit more. I struggle to believe a 3D platformer is comparable.
Well, Mario Odyssey on a Metacritic is a 97.
There you go, and that's fucking Mario.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's a lot of people that love those styles of games, but they're only really ever limited. Like Mario is like the pinnacle. And
You got to
if you
remember
don't
there
have a
is a lot of
Nintendo-
stinky Mario games.
But it's like the chance to get that
They're
on
going to be coming for you
PlayStation.
for that one.
The chance to get a game like that on PlayStation, obviously people are gonna love it.
Yeah, and I don't want this to be taken as I think the game is bad. The game looks so good, and I do intend on playing it. It's just more of a food for thought comment than anything else.
No, but rounding it up, those who tuned in last month know we've done a 10-question quiz, and we'll be doing this every episode going forward.
Quiz.
As this was quite a longer episode, we had a lot to talk about and discuss. It will be 5 questions, and following on, there was a bit of a theme with PlayStation. So we got a PlayStation themed quiz to
Oh,
go
I'm
along
fucking screwed then.
with
I was an Xbox boy.
discussions. It's fairly specific, not fully specific. You might be right, you might not. Con won last month's episode, very close. Horry got the Pokemon question that he thought overruled everything.
I got the most important question right. So.
I absolutely stomped Horry. He's an old man. His time has passed.
So as usual, I'll read the question. I'll give you 10 to 20, 10, 15 seconds to jot down an answer. You reveal it one by one, and then I will tell you who's right. We've got 5 questions this time, not 10 due to the length. And are you both ready?
Yes, sir.
Right, question 1 of the PlayStation General Knowledge Cutscene Quiz. PS2 is the highest selling console of all time, but what year did it come out? What year did the PS2 come out? I couldn't tell you when I got mine. What console though?
I only had the Slim, and that was a bought off my dad's boss when he was getting rid of it. And my dad accidentally gave me GTA San Andreas as like a 11-year-old.
Accidentally?
No, he genuinely didn't have a clue. He hadn't got a clue about gaming. He was just like, oh, there was this box of games with it as well. There you go. And I hid it from the rest of them just in case my older brother saw it and was like, you shouldn't have that.
I'm trying to guess because my cousin had one.
I'm going to give you 5 more seconds.
I know what my guess is. I'm not confident with it, though. I think I'm a year off.
And based off that, I'm going to ask Corey first because he seems to be deliberating a little bit more.
2005.
2005 and Con?
2001.
Oh, shit. Have I gone too long?
Do I give it to the person who's closest?
Can I say what I actually
because you
think
didn't
it
last
is?
time.
Yeah, I didn't last time, did I?
Can I say what I think it was and why I chickened out?
Go on.
I think it's 2002, and I chickened out to 2001 because last time the Xbox 360, which competed with the PS3, was 2006. And I was like, about 5 years at that time might be the right gap. So that's why I went 2001, but I actually think it is 2002.
I nearly went 2003, and I'm probably going to regret
Con, you was right changing a year, but you went the wrong direction. It actually came out 2000. 2000. Yep.
God, I was young.
Yeah, because Horry, I think like the 360 and PS5 came out in like
Yeah.
2006, I want to say.
Yeah, it would have been too close.
Like, I'm trying to think
I
of
was
when, like,
thinking
all the Halos
2003.
were.
but I was
Generations were
like,
quicker and closer, but they weren't that close.
It's too fucking long ago.
2024
I just remember
years
playing
ago.
Crash Bandicoot 2 not Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot on my cousin's PS2.
So many good
PS2,
PS2
what a
games.
console, man.
Well, we're not doing closest, so neither of you get one. Good start.
But
Right,
I was
question
closer.
two.
So
You was
in a
closer.
tiebreaker,
For the
I did
record,
alright.
you.
There is no tiebreaker.
Right, question 2. What is the name of Final Fantasy VII's main protagonist?
Oh, fuck. I've never played Final Fantasy.
I feel like this is one
I have a guess.
because I've never
I
played
also
it.
have a guess.
I have never played it, but I knew who it was.
Okay,
I feel like it's quite a big
I feel like I know who it is
pop
then.
culture-y.
Okay, cool. I'm confident with my answer now.
I mean, I'm pretty confident with mine.
I'm going to say it with chest.
Okay, both of you say it at the same time. 3,
Captain.
2, 1.
Cloud.
Right, you both get a point.
Let's fucking go.
So what was your method to try, or did you just have a rough idea?
Honest to God, and this is going to show off my ADHD brain so badly. I was like, I know he's in Soul Calibur, and he has a name similar to Ray McLeod, the 49ers wide receiver. It's like McLeod. I was like, no, it can't
What
be
kind of
McLeod.
logic is that?
And I'm like, it's Cloud. It's my brain. It's fucked up in here.
So I
But I
knew
got there.
I knew Cloud was a main for one of them, but I wasn't sure if it was for Final Fantasy. I couldn't remember if it was an earlier or later one.
I picked 7 because it's like the most iconic one, the best
So-
reviewed one, etc. So yeah, you both get a point. Deadlock at the minute. Going on to technically my favorite game of all time with question 3. Who is the father of God of War's Kratos? Who is Kratos' dad? I'm thinking of obviously mythology.
Yeah, that's where my brain's trying to go.
Yeah.
But
There's quite a few people you could probably pick from. Can you narrow it down? Con, I know you've got a PlayStation. Have you played God of War 2018 or Ragnarok?
No.
You are missing out. I
bought it for
have-
Spider-Man, and I've played it for Spider-Man and now Quidditch World Cup. That's
so
literally fucking it.
Ragnarok is you probably know is my favorite game of all time. I
Oh,
knew
and is
this
it
answer
revealed
in
in
a
that
heartbeat.
who his dad is?
No, I'm pretty sure it's revealed in 2018. I want to say.
Okay.
But yeah, who is Kratos' dad? You got 5 seconds.
This got to be a punt in the dark. Oh wait, fuck. What's his name?
5,
If I
have
if
a
I-
guess.
3, 2, 1.
If
Con, you're
I-
and R, and you can go first.
If I say like their role, will you give me a bit of leeway?
No.
Because I can't remember the exact name, but I
No.
think it's the Titan grandfather, like
Spit it out.
Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades' dad. I think he's also like Kratos' dad, and then that's why
And
Kratos goes
his
and
name
kills them.
is.
I'm just gonna go Zeus because I can't remember his name, so I won't get given the point. And Zeus fucks everything, but I'm not confident about
I
any
have
of them.
Atlas.
Oh, Atlas is a great shout.
I don't think I'm right.
Don't tell me I was right with my thought process and just couldn't remember the name.
Zeus's father is called Cronus.
Oh
Zeus is-
fuck! His dad isn't Cronus,
Oh.
is it?
His dad is Zeus. Con, you somehow managed to swindle your way to that one.
Shit.
Kratos.
I see. I didn't think it was like that tier of like
Go on,
Zeus and
Zeus,
stuff.
you horn dog. Get
Yep.
cooked, Tori.
Yeah, his dad is indeed Zeus.
I thought that was
tough.
too obvious of like an answer to pick. I was like, it won't be Zeus. That's
Cope.
I love that Con was like, yeah, I think it's Zeus's dad, but I can't remember his name, so I'm just going to pick Zeus. So jammy. Right, question 4, 2-1 to Con. I feel like if you're not PlayStation people, you might struggle with this one, but I throw it in there anyway because it's.
Oh, fun.
yay.
What species is Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank?
Oh, I think I know.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be.
I know.
I'm gonna say it with chest, but I think I know.
So
Can we get more pressure? Time pressure put on Hori here. So he
there
doesn't
it
have too
is.
much time?
Based on what Hori's been saying and his lack of PlayStation knowledge, he's not gonna get this one. But I'll give you 5 or so seconds. Con seems confident, so we'll let Hori go first.
I'm gonna say it with chest. What are you looking at there? Hori?
Okay,
What are you looking down at?
I'm typing my answers on my phone.
Oh,
That's how I've been doing them because I've got my list
Right.
from last time.
Hori, we'll let you go first.
Flying squirrel.
I mean, technically, kind of. And Con,
gonna go with a fox.
you're both wrong.
That's
I'm
fine.
not shocked
still
that I'm
2-1.
wrong.
So,
Can't lose.
I feel like this is one. If you like PlayStation, you know because it gets brought up all the time. Ratchet is a Lombax.
Oh my!
What?
I did know that.
Don't
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's like a rodenty cat / fox / I'm pretty sure. Let me get up his actual description of what he is. They are a
Lombax,
humanoid.
All I get is him.
They are a humanoid feline rodent-like species.
Oh wait. So it's a made-up
Yeah, it's not an actual. I'm pretty sure it's not an actual thing.
So you've asked us what animal he is.
No, what
It was a-
species?
It was a
I asked
trick
you what
question.
species.
I feel like we've been led astray here, Hori.
I feel like I should have said
Anyway.
rodent. No, I
Yeah,
don't know.
can't lose.
I wouldn't have given you the answer anyway.
I know.
Right, so there's only one question left because it's a shorter quiz day. Still currently 2-1 to Con. Let us know in the comments how many you've got right so far, and after this question, how many you got right in total. But question 5: which studio developed Jak and Daxter? Which studio developed Jak and Daxter? Iconic franchise.
I know.
I've played all of them.
I know. I think.
Similar to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I think I know. I might be wrong with chess again, but I'm going to put the time pressure on Hori.
Fair play. Hori, think of.
I'm trying to think of PlayStation Studios, but I'm like,
This has been another episode of Gaming Changer.
I can't even think of a PlayStation Studio right now.
Yeah, they're all so mid. It's crazy.
Never made games for me, so.
The only. Oh, is that true? I mean, I think it might be, but your only clue is they're quite big. But I'll give you 5 more seconds. Con seems quite confident, and Hori will lead you off because of that.
I got it. Yeah.
Hori will lead
Shot
you.
in the dark, which I'm almost certain is wrong. Naughty Dog.
I am also saying Naughty Dog.
Oh,
That is because Naughty Dog is the right answer.
3, 2,
I was like,
let's go.
what PlayStation
You
Studio
saying
do I
they're
know?
quite big has led him to that answer.
Well, no, because that was like the only studio I was kind of. I'm like, well, they're PlayStation, but I didn't think they made.
I tried to go
anything other
big
than-
because then you mentioned like you haven't played their games. I was thinking, has Hori played the last? Has he played
I haven't.
Uncharted? No, you're missing out. But yeah,
Probably
Naughty
chances
Dog
tried.
was the correct answer, which I
Because
believe.
they are the only studio that Sony actually own.
Referee. The slander, the PlayStation slander, all the PlayStation fanboys are going to be at you in the comments. But
Fine.
yeah, today's quiz, I believe, it wasn't a very high score. I know it's only 5 questions,
I got.
but
two.
I believe
3-2.
3-2 to Con, which puts
Yeah.
him
That's my
2-0
total at 7.
overall.
2-time? Oh, actually, no, I don't want to be 2-time. Can we do another one? Can we do 3-time real quick?
Cancel Con and night.
Can we get fuck the 2-time in the comments?
Referee. But that's this month's quiz. Next month, I don't know how big the gaming news will be, so we might go back to a 10-question format. Might give Hori a better chance. It will
Make
be
them all obscure Steam games
It
or
will.
something.
It will. Be,
Make
it
them
will
all games in the
probably
80s.
All
At least he
MOBAs.
was around for them.
unless there's place like Xbox specific news. It'll probably be general knowledge next month. So it might give you a better chance because Con's currently 2-0, walking away with it. Obviously, we said by
Make
the
it
end
10
of
Pokemon questions.
by the end of season 2 of Cutscene, we're gonna figure out who is. We're gonna reset it every.
I'm fine
100
with
episodes.
already admitting that I probably will lose this overall.
The problem is, Hori's the kind of neurospicy where he forgets everything. I'm the kind of neurospicy where I remember everything useless, and it comes up great at times like this.
I remember just enough to know what you're talking about, but none of the details. So like you
That's
saying,
valid.
what species is Ratchet from Ratchet Clank about? Oh, I know that game. Don't know anything else about the game.
That wasn't just a dude named Ratchet.
Like,
That
it's
wasn't a
just creature.
fox called. That wasn't a fox called Ratchet. But no, well done, Con. You get today's
Awesome.
gold medal.
Thank you as always, Josh, and we'll see you next time, buddy.
Yes, thank
Likewise,
you.
catch you next month.
Oh, right. I'm gonna go full PP.